I've read quite a few books on the demonic realm, but one stands out in a category of its own. What makes this book exceptional is that it was written by a psychiatrist with 25 years of experience and impeccable credentials. Dr. Richard Gallagher has attended exorcisms firsthand, not as the one doing the exorcising, but as an observer and investigator, carefully discerning between mental illness and genuine supernatural phenomena. If you've seen the Paramount show Evil, Gallagher is the real-life equivalent of Kristen Bouchard in the first season, a skeptic with deep psychiatric knowledge who approaches exorcism with both expertise and caution.
Are you referring to demons metaphorically or clinically?
Most of the cases in his view have natural explanations, but not all. He has encountered events that defy psychological or medical explanation, and his experience equips him to be able to distinguish between what psychiatry can explain and what lies beyond its scope.
The problem with my job is that possession looks a lot like insanity, and I need someone to help me distinguish between the two.
Gallagher's book, Demonic Foes, My 25 Years as a Psychiatrist Investigating Possessions, Diabolic Attacks, and the Paranormal, offers meticulously documented cases that skeptics will respect.
The evidence is overwhelming.
Along with profound insights that Christians should seriously consider before engaging with the demonic. In today's video, I'll share the key lessons that I took from this book and explain why it's a must-read. First, let's talk about the author, Dr. Richard Gallagher, to establish his credibility. Dr. Gallagher is a board-certified psychiatrist with impeccable qualifications. He earned his undergraduate degree in the classics from Princeton University and completed his psychiatric residency at Yale University School of Medicine. Currently, he serves as a professor of psychiatry at New York Medical College and is also a psychoanalyst on the faculty at Columbia University. To further validate his expertise, the book includes a foreword by Joseph T. English, who was a former president of the American Psychiatric Association, who endorses Gallagher's credibility and his standing among his peers. On the exorcism front, Dr. Gallagher has been the longest standing member of the International Association of Exorcists since the early 1990s. He even served as the scientific advisor on its governing board for a time, bridging the gap between psychiatric science and the world of exorcism. With his extensive training, credentials, and endorsements, Gallagher's findings can't be dismissed as those of someone unfamiliar with the complexities of the mind. His dual expertise in psychiatry as well as spiritual phenomena make his work uniquely authoritative. This book serves two key purposes with dual audiences in mind. It's both an apologetic for the supernatural, aimed at skeptics, but it's also a practical guide for Christian leaders encountering suspected demonic activity. For the skeptics, Dr. Gallagher's writing is measured and precise. He avoids sensationalism, only presenting cases with credible, documented evidence. His careful, methodical approach makes the book particularly compelling for those who might otherwise dismiss supernatural claims. For believers, Gallagher brings scientific expertise that most Christians don't possess. While many Christians do understand theology and faith, they often lack the knowledge about how the brain functions, which can lead to mistaking mental illness for demonic manifestations. Gallagher's insights help believers to avoid these common pitfalls, equipping them to address the demonic realm with greater discernment and responsibility. One of the most helpful aspects for believers is how clearly Gallagher distinguishes between mental illness and demonic possession. Gallagher believes that most suspected cases of possession are actually mental health issues, but not all of them. He provides three primary signs to help identify true possession. The first is the ability to speak in unknown languages. The second is knowledge of hidden or private information. And then the third is abnormal physical signs such as extraordinary strength, unnatural contortions, or even levitation. He also says that possessed individuals typically black out during these episodes with no memory of what occurred. While these signs aren't always present, Gallagher notes that in most cases, at least one or more of them will manifest. Now, if you're wondering what a genuine case of demonic possession looks like, here's one example from the book. Gallagher and a priest visited a possessed woman, and the demon speaks through her in a deep, non-human voice. It says,
"She's mine, you effing monkey priest."
Then, on a different day during a private phone call between Gallagher and the same priest, Where they're discussing her, that same demonic voice interrupts their call saying,
I told you she's mine, leave her alone.
Now, both men heard the voice clearly despite no other participant being on the call and the woman not being in the room or anywhere near. The book recounts several cases like this, featuring phenomena that defy natural explanation, such as those which defy laws of science, like people walking sideways up a wall, or that which are humanly unexplainable, like fluently speaking and mocking a priest in his native language when the possessed person has no knowledge of that language. Gallagher's expertise extends beyond recognizing genuine possession. He documents several cases of people who were faking demonic behavior, such as slithering on the floor or hissing at religious objects. Honestly, as I read those stories, I realized that I probably would have been fooled by these too, thinking that they were demonic when they weren't. The fact that he can distinguish between the fake and the genuine further establishes his credibility. Gallagher also warns readers about huckster exorcists such as Robert Tilton and Benny Hinn, who exploit people under the guise of spiritual authority.
Go out of her! Go out of her! Go out of her!
Hold her!
Go out of her! Hold her legs, man!
Hold her legs!
He emphasizes the importance of discernment, particularly for young ministers, recounting a sobering example where a novice pastor with confidence that crossed into arrogance was physically thrown into a wall by a petite woman who was possessed by a demon. The heart of demonic foes is Dr. Gallagher's call for collaboration between religious leaders and psychiatrists. He stresses that not every ecstatic outburst is demonic possession. Most cases in his experience are mental health related. However, he also insists that not everything can be explained by psychiatry. Gallagher envisions a partnership where ministers and psychiatrists work together, referring cases to each other as appropriate. Psychiatrists can perform diagnostic tests to rule out mental illness, while ministers can perform exorcisms in the name of Jesus and provide spiritual discipleship to prevent the person from falling back into demonic oppression. I honestly think that's a fantastic goal, encouraging cooperation instead of division between these two worlds. Now, if this sounds interesting and you'd like to read the book for yourself, I've got a link to it in the video description. You can order a copy for yourself today on Amazon. Thanks so much for watching.